Karl Marx.
Wow.
You think of me and you sneer because you think communist, right?
Yes.
You think communist. Well, let me tell you, I've been wandering the streets of London. It is the mid-19th century. I've been wandering the streets of London, and I was passed by a young couple. They were running back to their factory from the funeral of their child. Why were they running back to the factory? Because if they didn't, they would be fired. Their child also worked in the factory. She worked in one of these big loom rooms on a machine, and she got sucked into the machine, and she died. They went to her funeral. They had 1 hour off to go to her funeral. But if they didn't come back to the factory, and if they didn't work, he's a capitalist, damn the capitalist. If they didn't get back to work, they would be fired. Their daughter has just died. She has just died. And the capitalists, those who own the factories, they don't care about you, the proletariat. You are mere labor to them. Look at your houses. This is where you live, in the slums. There is sewer running in the streets. There is no sanitation. There's no water. Your bathroom, you throw it out the window. The factories you work in, there's no safety laws. There's no 40-hour work week. You are totally exploited. And who's exploiting you? You, the proletariat? The guy who lives in this house. The capitalist. He has 90% of the wealth. You have 10. You are 90% of the population. Are you getting the picture? He doesn't care about you. You are just labor to him. I wrote this book, Das Kapital. This book tells about life as a worker. It tells about life from your perspective. You have been abused by the capitalists, but it's not your fault. Where did you come from? You were once serfs, working in the field. With your hoe, you were growing crops. And what happened? You came to the city. Why? Were you greedy? No, you weren't greedy. You had no other place to go. You were living in the country, working your crops, and the man, the capitalist, he took that land and now there are sheep there. Why are there sheep, sir, where you used to work? Where you used to have your little crop? What do sheep give us? Wool. Where is wool being sent to? The factories. And now there are no crops. There is no land being plowed under by serfs because of the factories needing sheep for the wool, for their production. And you, if you're going to feed your mouths, you had to go to the cities. And who did you leave behind?
Family.
Your family, your parents, the sick. They no longer have you to take care of them. You have gone to the cities. You have put your children to work. Why? Because you hate them? Because you want to exploit your children? No, because you can only earn enough if all of you work together. And your health is gone. And your lungs, oh my gosh, the pollution that is coming out of those factories. And your children are being exploited and they're not going to school, but this is the only way you can live. And the capitalist, he doesn't care. You are merely labor. I wrote about it in my book. No plunder in history could compare with the enormity of the offense of the capitalist on you. The capitalist, without working himself, appropriated the products of you, the worker, leaving you only the minimum amount paid as slave wages to keep you alive and enable you to produce even more. Now, think of it. Let's take a look at society. All of society is built on one thing. The economy. Everything runs about one thing. And the economy is built on the capitalist exploiting you, the worker, the proletariat. The legal system. Who do the laws protect? The rich, the capitalists. How about religion? What do you learn in your Bible? The meek shall inherit the earth. You're not going to get it in this life, but you will get it in the next. I tell you, people, religion is the opiate of the masses. Your religion is numbing your mind. It is keeping you oppressed. It is a tool of the capitalists. And you sit there like the sheep in the fields. Education. Who's getting educated? Your children? No, the education is going to those of the wealthy. The politics. Who wins? Those with the money. It's all built on the economy, all of society. The capitalist is exploiting you. And he's telling you if you're not wealthy like he is, it's your fault. He has built in you a false consciousness, a belief that if you don't succeed, it's your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault at all. You have been exploited by this man, this capitalist, this group of people who band together to keep you down. Now, you can band together. We can have a revolution. We can overthrow the capitalists. We can have the most perfect society. It's called socialism. In socialism, we all work together, and all our resources are pooled together. And then we distribute them to whoever needs it. And it's a beautiful way of life. It's like hunter-gatherers. Have you ever heard of hunter-gatherers? They were a wonderful type of society. They were a type of society where there was no greed, where everybody worked for the group. We can have that. I've written about it. My book, The Communist Manifesto, you can buy it afterwards, I'll sign it for you. But in my book, The Communist Manifesto, you can read about how you as the proletariat can overthrow the capitalists, and we can have the perfect society where we work for the greater good of everyone, not for the greed of any individual. Are you with me? Are you with me? We can have a revolution. We can overthrow them.